Hey Ryan, Grant here. I found your email is actually in my junk folder. But I got that out. Looking at the survey here, I'm looking at the front driveway expansion courtyard area for extra parking. Just want to point out a few things, and one thing I would suggest is perhaps if you wanted, I could get involved with the grading and whatnot for the front courtyard area. Um, your elevation here says 19.3, and over here it says 18. So that means that it slopes over the course of this. From here to here is 9 feet, and from here to here is 9 feet. So it's 18 feet. So right now they have it sloping 15 inches over 18 feet. That's a pretty aggressive slope to park a car. Um, Usually driveways are sloped somewhere between 2.5% to 4%. Right now you're at about an 8% pitch. I have a few ideas that perhaps you might be able to alleviate some of that pitch and have a more of a level parking area. Because I think that might look a little funny to have too steep of a slope on your parking area. All right. The other thing is your existing grades, which are these faded dotted lines, are obviously different than the new grade. So, for example, right here, the existing grade is at 16, but your grade for the drive, because he's trying to get a constant slope, which makes sense. So you have from here to here it goes up 2 feet, and then from here it goes to 2 feet, and then from here it goes up 2 feet. So there's going to have to be some regrading of the lawn surrounding the parking area. Um, but also, because this area needs to be relatively level, and you have the existing grade has slope to it, then you're going to end up needing to put in retaining walls either around it or further away from it and have a planting bed around it to soften it. Steps, which he shows 2 steps coming here, but another idea is you could actually add one more step, which would take this 19.3 grade and turn it down to a roughly 18.7 grade, which again would alleviate some of the slope. So there's a couple different ways you could slice the pie here, but you definitely will need to show retaining walls as part of this plan, because a lot of times wherever you're near a septic, they're going to want to see any new retaining walls you're going to be adding. Plus, a lot of times they make you end up putting a curb in, so to prevent a car from driving off the parking lot on top of your septic. So from previous experience, I can tell you that a lot of times they require that as well. The town does. Anyways, I think I could work. I could collaborate with the engineer. We could bounce some ideas back and forth. Oops. And I think we could. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. I think we could get a better plan put together. But like I mentioned, from an aesthetic perspective, you wanna incorporate your walls. You want to think where your landscaping beds are going to try to soften this courtyard area. So there's a lot that goes into this, but I think I could help with that as part of the overall design. And then overall scope of design, just want to kind of go over that as well. So we talked about perhaps some plantings along or fence along the street. If you want to fence in the property, you could do that, and then of course you have to put a gate at the entrance of the driveway, which would be here. When I was walking around after I met with you, I noticed there was landscaping around the exterior of the property, along the perimeter. All right, so if I think probably the builder had put a lot of those plants in. A lot of times what we do when a builder does do that is we might give you suggestions and say, hey, you know what? This tree 10, 15 years from now is going to be an issue where it's located, perhaps transplanted into another area. So I guess my question is, as part of this phase 1 landscape design, do you want to focus just on the front of the house, or do you want a comprehensive design for the entire property? All right, so I guess there's a couple different ways to splice that. Is again, front landscaping, perimeter landscaping, okay, which is everything on the outside, which is done. But again, I think probably could be improved and at least eliminate some of the possible issue you have in the future. A lot of the trees you'll probably keep in the same location, especially the screening trees. But from a color perspective, color schemes, longer blooming periods, and whatnot, again, we could transplant a lot of the smaller shrubs around so you get a better aesthetic. All right. So that's the second question: is do you want to focus on designing on the exterior rear part of the property? And third, obviously, is this area in the center. As far as pool, is that something you want to think about planning now, or is that something you just want to hold off and think about planning in the future? If there was one section of the design that I guess could be independent from the rest of the landscaping, I guess would be this pool area, because it's kind of connected to the house and it's by itself. But again, if you do want to do plantings along this rear foundation of the house, then you would want to incorporate the pool design as well, because anything in proximity to the rear of the house you're going to want to design as one cohesive design. So this whole area, pool slash rear foundation landscaping, would be another question if you wanted to design now. All right, so that's the way I would think about it, is starting here, wrapping around is kind of one area for the whole front of the house, including the fence. Okay, and then area 2 would be pool, rear foundation plantings, and area 3 would be exterior plantings along the edge of the property in the rear of the house. So that's it. I'll shoot you this quick video. Just figured I'd point out a few things, and we'll take it from there. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.